Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new 80 plus player pick upgrades to do for the ultimate team of the season. We're going to go ahead and see what we can pack for some people. We're going to have some music playing in the background, doing the chill thing. You guys know the vibes. So, this is going to be my boy Giyu's account. Maybe I'll do like a player pick video today, and then we'll probably do like maybe a tactic video afterwards, because I use the 4-4-2 bracket 2 with the 2 CDMs, and I think that's something that people may actually enjoy watching, because I know that you guys like the tactic videos a lot. So I might post that today as well. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get started with these player pick stuff. In regards to content, guys, EA hasn't really been releasing a lot of stuff. It's a really weird situation, right? Because the last 2 days they released a flashback. They released like a flashback Dembele, and then they also released the Martinez card, which was yesterday. And it's weird, right? Because we require content every single day for the game to be a game that you actually want to hop on. Does that make sense? Like, I have this discussion with you guys all the time, because I feel like it's an important discussion to have. A video game shouldn't require for you to create content every single day for it to be interesting. I think in EA's case, they would have had a very good combination if their game modes and their gameplay was actually good, right? Like, Foot Champs is chalked. People can say whatever they want about Foot Champs, because every single year people wipe their memories of how terrible Foot Champs is as a game mode, and then they're like, oh yeah, but the new year though, you know? Foot Champs is a terrible game mode. People should definitely, I don't know, man. It's in some cases people need to open their eyes a little bit, right? Because when it comes to contents from EA, it's obvious that they're pretty inconsistent, right? There's not going to be like a huge consistency when it comes to that. In a regular world, releasing Dembele, Wagner, he already has this card. Releasing Dembele and Martinez and then not releasing anything today would be perfectly fine, because the game itself is a good game, right? But they obviously like don't really have that, which is why people don't realize this in our community, but this is why people complain about this the most, right? Like, people complain about it because the game isn't good by itself. Like, it's kind of like a thing where people don't really like realize this that much, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm obviously not happy with the content drop, because they require content for the game to be interesting, because it's just not good as a standalone game. You guys already know how I feel about that. But with the player picks, guys, I feel like this is a good opportunity to kind of reply to some people on Instagram, because some people, you know, ask some questions on Instagram whether certain things are worth it or not, who they would choose over who, all that kind of stuff, right? So I feel like this is a pretty good opportunity to be able to do that. So we'll get started with the first one here. If it's like team suggestions and stuff, like, I'll usually probably like not respond to that, because it's like pretty generic stuff for the most part. But if it's like, you know, a question like this, like whether or not the Dembele SBC is worth doing, that's what the player reviews are for, right? Like, at the end, I always tell you guys whether or not a card is worth doing from a meta perspective, fun perspective, all that good stuff. Sometimes when I just tell you guys, like, hey guys, like, this card joined Sentimental Value FC, it's just not a good card to get. That's just kind of like the end all of how things are when it comes to FIFA. So far, these player picks have been absolutely atrocious, but we move. So yeah, the Ousmane Dembele SBC, like I said in the video, yes, it is worth getting. Obviously, for the meta of the game, and him being a 5-star player, you know, those guys are always going to be meta-oriented players. Like, you can have dribbling that might not be the best dribbling, but because skill canceling and 5-star skills is basically the dribbling nowadays, which, trust me, I absolutely hate, but I only do because of the content creation that I have to do on the YouTube channel. 5-star skills is basically the new skilling in this game, right? So that's why I always tell people that when a 5-star player comes out, it's usually pretty good. So yeah, it's pretty much worth getting. So this guy says, I have Team of the Season Wildman, Team of the Season Carrasco, and Foot Birthday Sane. I wanted to play one of the strikers as a left mid, right mid. Who would you play at striker? It would really help to know. Between the three, who would I play at striker between the three? To be honest with you, none of them. Yeah. Even Sane's card is cool to use. He's cool to use. Obviously, he fits the meta of the game well, especially for that Foot Birthday version of his card. Yeah, dude, honestly, I'd probably go with Sane just because of the 5-star skills. But who would I use at striker out of all of them? It's tough to say, man. I personally wouldn't use that many of them. But then again, I do think of the game from a very meta perspective. Like, there are... I tell you guys this all the time when it comes to the player reviews. There are very few players that actually move properly in FIFA. You know? Like, recently... You guys know that I had my Sentimental Value FC team, the Portuguese hybrid squad, that had Sergio Oliveira and all these guys. Guys, honestly, if you're good enough at the game, you can make these players work. But making players work does not necessarily make them good players, you know? Like, I can make a card look good even if it isn't. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the card is good. Like, there's been reviews in the past that I've scored, like, 5 goals in a review with a certain player. And... people were like, oh, but how could this card be bad if he scored 5 goals for you? Obviously, user control is obviously like a huge thing, right? When it comes to FIFA, guys, like meta characteristics up top in the striker position, there are very few cards that I actually enjoy using up top in the striker position. Like with Kylian Mbappe, I had a team, right? I had like Otavio, I had all those guys, right? And... they just don't move across a pitch like players like Neymar, Mbappe, Ronaldo, even having a Ronaldo Sanchez for birthday in your team. Like, all of these guys, bro, there are very, very few players that move like these guys. And for you to be able to play the game, not even necessarily play to the best of your ability, but play to the game's best ability that allows you to actually, you know, not be limited in certain cases when you're playing the gameplay, it makes sense that people have a full meta rat teams. It really does, man, because when you don't, it's not even fun to use players for sentimental value at this point in the game. It just isn't, because they just suck, you know? Like, there was a point in FIFA, like, earlier in the year, like, if you went for sentimental value FC, it was perfectly fine because there wasn't that many, like, full meta cards or meta-oriented cards. But nowadays, you know, it's not really... something worth doing. I mean, at this point, guys, like I tell you guys all the time, if I didn't create content on this game, I wouldn't play it. Like, you think I would resort to all these little skill move things that I do in these player reviews, all these skill move cancels, to play the game normally? Absolutely not. I would have already uninstalled the game, because it's just it ruins the game, obviously. But we do it obviously for the sake of content, because that is how you have to play this game. You have to skill like an idiot to score your opportunities. It's not necessarily just attacking AI and dribbling anymore, although you can obviously still play like that. But for you to be able to fully utilize cards, not necessarily ideal, right? So, yeah, when it comes to the player reviews, guys, I always tell you guys whether a card is worth getting at the end. If I tell you it's sentimental value, by default, it's not worth getting, right? If I tell you that a card is usable, then by default, it's a card that you can use in the meta, but not necessarily super ideal. So on and so forth. So yeah, these player picks, man, they've been kind of atrocious. Nothing too crazy, but it's a good opportunity for us to just talk about different stuff, obviously, to see what the pack weight is like, talk about how awful of a company EA is, all that default stuff. So 82 rated Gene, and let's see what my boy Guy already said. He's like, Wagner player pick. I think we packed him 3 times in this player pick, actually. Pretty sure we did. Let me see. Okay, so let's see over here in this list. So that's 1 over there, 2 over there. In Giyu's case, he always uses fodder, so it's kind of okay. Yeah, he literally got Wagner Team of the Season twice. Yeah, this is the content that they release, guys, you know, doing 50 of these things that, you know, it takes a lot of time to do, to be honest, and they just didn't really release much. Move all items, exit and sort items later. Yeah, we'll just do that for now. Yeah, I mean, bless Giyu in my account, bless Crime. All of these guys are absolute blessings in regards to me creating content, because without them, I genuinely would not have the content that we have on the YouTube channel if these guys didn't help out as much as they do. So big thank you to them. Big thank you to Giyu for the 80 plus. Yeah, for content, guys, honestly, today... It's just, I mean, you guys know me, there's no filter with me. It's garbage, right? It's just complete trash. Like I said, and I always tell you guys, man, they think that they have a game, right, where they can release absolutely nothing and be totally cool. I mean, in their case, pockets-wise, probably, right? But as a regular video game, no. Like, the game is just not... It's just not at that point. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and eat some barbecue. My family, everyone's chilling over, so you guys know I'm gonna go vibe, enjoy the summer, or the summer. Yeah, it's the summer now. I don't even know my days anymore when you're a content creator. I'm gonna go enjoy some time with my family. Maybe I get some tactics stuff for you guys afterwards. Guys, don't worry. The only time that I spend a lot of time on this game is the Fridays and Saturdays, but every other day I spend as low as amount of time as possible on this game because you guys know that I hate it. I did that rant video for a reason. It's complete garbage. I'm obviously decent at the game, but just because I'm decent doesn't mean I enjoy it. It's just the stuff you got to do to play is like no thanks. And this daytime gameplay. I tried playing Rivals the other day during the daytime. I don't even know how half you guys play this game. I salute you guys. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, my dudes. Love you guys.